Welcome back to another installment of Hot Flash Divas. Today we're reading chapter 24 titled Discovery. The Friday after I moved into my new home, I shut down my practice midday for 3 hours. Todd insisted he couldn't do this any other day due to scheduled funerals. I drove to Decatur to close our joint accounts at the bank and to remove my few remaining papers from the shared safety deposit box. I had no concerns that Todd would abscond with my goodies because I possess both keys. I envisioned him combing the house looking for that second key. The thought made me smile. I was still firmly entrenched in the anger phase. While I was furious with Todd, I was also pissed at myself. I'd had time to think through our years of marriage. 2 nights before, I found a box that contained the entire collection of cards, notes, and little trinkets that he'd given me through the years. The contents confirmed that we once had a vital marriage and that he did, indeed, love me. When I woke the next day, it was as if someone had injected me with a giant syringe of emotional Novocaine. I felt numb, except for breakthroughs of rancid, hot anger. To be truthful, this scared the bejesus out of me. I knew I loved Buffy, but I couldn't feel it. I opened my journal and wrote, "Will I remain an empty shell of emotion except for anger for the rest of my life? If not, will it disappear in a flash or wear off in a gradual way?" When I strode through the doors of the bank, my eyes slid over to Letitia in her glass cubicle. Her plump red lips were flatlined as she directed a baleful glare across the bank. I tracked her gaze to Todd, who sat at a desk occupied by a blonde beauty. Laughing, they leaned toward each other across the desk. I walked up to them, and the laughter died. "Oh, Phoenix, we were just waiting for you." Todd ran his finger inside the collar of his starched shirt. "Hi, I'm Brandy, with an I." She stood and extended her well-manicured hand. She had a squeaky little voice, but the rest was a beautiful, sexy woman. I shook her hand and gave her my "he isn't divorced yet" look as I sat in the chair next to Todd. 15 minutes later, our joint finances were separated, and I held a cashier's check. I slid the check into my purse and pulled out the safety deposit box keys. Todd's eyes widened with recognition. "I've been looking for those everywhere." His shoulders slumped with relief. "Really?" I tilted my head and tried to look innocent. We both signed in, and Brandy escorted us into the vault. After she had left, we were alone in a small room with a counter and 2 chairs. Todd and I pulled out all the items. After inspecting all the envelopes, we divided them into his and her piles. Mine went into a nylon bag that I took from my purse. He tucked his back inside the box. The minute we opened the door to the tiny room, a rush of cool air blew past us, and Brandy appeared, all smiles. She replaced the box and secured it. Todd looked at his watch and shifted his weight. "Gotta go. My lunch hour is almost over." He moved closer and lowered his voice. "My attorney told me that the papers were on the judge's desk waiting to be signed." He skulked out the door of the bank like a wraith. Brandy looked at me and tilted her head to the side like a bird. "It's so awesome that the 2 of you decided together that it's time to end your marriage and are working it out so amicably." My hand tightened on the strap of my purse. We didn't decide to get a divorce. I intended to honor my marriage vows for the rest of my life. Todd turned 40 and asked for a divorce after he committed adultery with 3 other women. I'm trying my best to be Christian about the whole thing. If he lied to you about this, you might consider what else he bent the truth about. Her cupid mouth formed a perfect O. I stalked across the bank into Letitia's office and plopped into her chair. She rose, tottered on red 3-inch heels to the door of her office and closed it. What did Miss Brandy say that twisted your thong into a wad? I don't own a thong. Really? Well, you're single now. We'll have to do something about that. Now tell me the dirt about Brandy. Todd told her that we both decided to call it quits. That corpse-loving husband of yours comes in every day with the funeral home's deposit and spends 15 minutes flirting with her at her desk. I think she's one of the 3. Letitia tapped her pen on the shiny desktop and tossed a glare over her shoulder toward Brandy, who was watching us. Brandy's eyes widened. Then she bent over a paper on her desk and began writing. It won't be my problem much longer, I replied. Todd told me the papers were on Judge Gibbons' desk. Letitia glanced at her desk calendar and giggled. He'll sign them Friday. How do you know? I leaned forward. It's Friday the 13th. She tapped the date with her pen. He's famous for holding divorce decrees so that he can sign them on that day. I shook my head and glanced at my watch. Gotta go. Keep me on your speed dial. Same to you. She gave me a mushy hug. I left feeling Brandy's gaze escorting me from the building. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Please subscribe, like, share, leave comments. All those things are just great. And I hope you have a wonderful day and that you stay well and stay safe.